Okay, so get this, right? We are diving into AI today, but not just the typical, look what AI can do kind of thing.
Right, right.
We're going deeper. We're going to be talking about if these systems can actually, think. And specifically, large language models or LLMs.
Yeah.
This is the tech behind, all those crazy human-like chatbots everyone and their mother is using these days.
It's a question that really has philosophers and computer scientists just, totally captivated right now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's a big one.
Huge, huge. And,
Yeah.
and lucky for us, we have this new research paper
Right.
that basically dropped right on our doorstep to help us unpack this.
Right.
And it's called, get this, Chain of Thought Prompting Elicits Reasoning in Large Language Models.
Catchy title. Right. Don't worry. We'll break it down. We'll unpack the jargon, make it nice and easy.
Yeah, I think what's really exciting about this research is that it's really moving beyond just giving AI instructions.
Well,
It's exploring whether these models can actually reason their way to a solution.
okay.
Kind of like unraveling a puzzle.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So instead of just spitting out answers like a calculator, we're talking about an AI that can, show its work.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Step by step.
And that's where this whole chain of thought prompting comes in.
Okay. All right.
Imagine giving an AI a problem,
Yeah.
if Sarah is 3 years older than Emily, and Emily is twice the age of their dog, Max,
Okay.
who is 5. How old is Sarah? Ooh, my brain hurts already.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm with you, though. I'm following.
But with this new prompting method,
Okay.
instead of just saying, 13,
Right.
the AI would actually break it down.
Okay.
So it would say something like, Max is 5, and Emily is twice his age, so she's 10. Sarah is 3 years older than Emily, so she must be 13.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like we're seeing the AI's thought process right there in front of us almost.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's wild.
And here's the kicker, right?
Yeah.
This is where this whole reasoning in AI starts to get really interesting.
Okay.
The researchers discovered that this whole chain of thought ability, it really only took off with these much larger AI models.
One in particular called Polym 540B showed just remarkably, really remarkable results.
So size actually matters in the AI world.
Well, it's kind of like saying that, yeah.
A bigger brain equals more brain power.
In way, yes.
Okay.
But of course, it's far more complex than that.
Right.
The architecture of these models is incredibly intricate.
Okay.
Without getting too technical.
No, please.
They use something called transformers,
Okay.
which allow them to process information in a way that's kind of analogous to how our brains might analyze relationships between different pieces of information.
So are you saying that these larger models with their transformers, right, might be mimicking the way that our own neurons fire and connect?
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's definitely a possibility, and it's one that this research, really highlights. It really suggests that there might be something inherently more capable about these larger models.
Okay.
Not just in terms of how much data they've been trained on,
Right.
but also in the way that their internal mechanisms are structured.
Okay. Now my mind is officially blown.
Yeah.
But if it's not just about the data, then what else is going on inside these massive AI models that allows them to reason this way?
Right. That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're still trying to fully wrap our heads around all the intricacies of how these large language models actually operate.
Okay.
But this research, I think, offers some really intriguing clues.
Like what? Give me the inside scoop.
Okay, so one thought-provoking theory
Yeah.
is that as these models grow larger and their transformers become more complex,
Yeah.
they're actually able to form these richer internal representations of the information that they process.
Okay, what does that actually mean though? Richer internal representations.
Yeah, it sounds kind of technical, right?
Yeah.
So imagine it like this, right?
Okay.
A small model might see the words apple, red,
Yeah.
and round.
Okay.
And it just kind of stores them as individual pieces of data.
Yeah.
Right. Just okay,
Yeah,
separate.
separate things. Yeah.
But a larger model
Yeah.
with its more sophisticated architecture might actually be able to weave those words into a more kind of like multi-layered understanding of what an apple actually is, you know? Like its taste, its texture, its like cultural significance, all of that.
So it's not just memorizing words, it's almost like building like a conceptual understanding of the world.
Yes. Yeah.
It's kind of like how our brains do, right?
That's the idea.
Okay.
And with this deeper, more interconnected understanding,
Yeah.
the larger models, they might be able to perform the kind of reasoning that we're seeing in this research.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, but hold on. If these AIs are so smart, how come they still make mistakes?
Right.
It's like the research paper mentioned something about error analysis, didn't it?
Ah, yes, yes. And this is where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
So the researchers didn't just celebrate the AI's like successes.
Right.
They dug into its failures too.
I like that. It's like they say in engineering, right? You learn more from your failures than your successes.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what did the AI trip up on?
Well, imagine like you're trying to teach a child how to ride a bike, right?
Yeah.
They might graft the basic concept pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But they're still going to wobble, they're going to swerve, they're probably going to, take a few tumbles.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Right.
I was a late bloomer in the bike riding department, so yeah.
Right. Well, these AI models, even the big ones, they're still in those early stages of development, right?
Okay.
So they can perform remarkably well on many tasks, but they're still prone to, making those illogical jumps or drawing kind of like incorrect conclusions, especially when they're faced with situations they haven't seen before.
So they're not ready to like win any Nobel Prizes just yet?
Perhaps not, no.
Oh, okay.
But by analyzing those errors, right, researchers, they can start to identify the kind of like the gaps in the AI's reasoning abilities.
Okay.
And they can fine-tune their development, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like debugging a complex piece of software or something, right?
Exactly.
You gotta find the glitches before you can, iron them out.
Yeah, and what these glitches often reveal is that, while AI can mimic kind of like certain aspects of human reasoning, it doesn't necessarily understand the world in the same way that we do.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, take common sense, for example, right? Like humans, we develop an intuitive understanding of the world through, years of experience. Things like, knowing the water is wet or that if you drop a glass, it'll probably break.
Yeah, we learn those lessons the hard way sometimes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But for an AI, common sense, it doesn't come naturally.
Right.
It has to be explicitly taught.
Okay.
Often through like, these painstakingly labeled data sets.
So even with these chain of thought prompts and these like massive models, AI still struggles with things that like humans find effortless?
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
And it really highlights the just incredible complexity of human cognition, which goes far, far beyond simply like, processing language or recognizing patterns.
That's actually kind of reassuring to hear in a way,
Yeah.
It makes you realize that we humans still have some like unique capabilities that AI hasn't quite like cracked yet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it speaks to the importance of continued research in this field,
Yeah.
The more we learn about how AI reasons, the more we can actually like appreciate the nuances of our own intelligence.
It's almost like AI is holding up a mirror to our own minds in a way.
Yeah.
It's helping us see ourselves in this new light.
Precisely. And by studying the differences in how AI and humans approach reasoning, we can gain this much deeper understanding of like what it actually means to think.
This is getting deep, but that's why we love these deep dives, right?
Exactly.
They make you think about the world in this whole new way.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we've talked about these massive models.
Yes.
The chain of thought, prompting, the AI's like, impressive feats of reasoning.
Yeah.
And even it's kind of like, occasional stumbles.
And what's incredible is that this is really just the tip of the iceberg,
Yeah.
Like this research, it opens up this whole Pandora's box of questions about the future of AI.
Like if we keep building bigger and bigger models,
Yeah.
will we eventually hit a point where AI's reasoning becomes like basically indistinguishable from our own?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's one that has no easy answers, unfortunately.
Well, I'm dying to know what you think.
Yeah.
Like, are we on the verge of creating truly intelligent machines?
Mm-hmm.
Or are there like fundamental limits to what AI can achieve?
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's like we're standing at the foot of this like, this massive mountain of possibility, right? And we're just starting to see the summit.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And like any good mountain climber, you know,
Yeah.
we got to proceed with both like, excitement,
Right.
but also with caution.
So where do we even like begin?
Yeah.
Like if this research is just like the first step, what's like the next chapter in this whole story of AI and reasoning?
So one avenue that I find particularly promising is really kind of exploring how we can use this whole chain of thought prompting thing
Yeah.
to make AI not just like, more capable,
Yeah.
but also more transparent.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So instead of AI just being this kind of like,
Yeah.
black box.
Right, where we feed data in and then like, answers pop out magically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about like really making that thought process governable.
Okay. Okay, I like it.
So imagine being able to like actually see how an AI arrived at a particular decision,
Okay.
almost like retracing its steps.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
And this could be revolutionary for fields like healthcare, finance, even criminal justice, where we're understanding the why behind an AI's decision. That's crucial.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because like if we're going to trust AI with like really important decisions,
Right.
we need to be able to like audit its reasoning.
Exactly.
Right. Make sure that there aren't any like, hidden biases or like errors in there.
Precisely. And it also helps address some of the ethical concerns,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Surrounding AI.
Right. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Because if we can understand how an AI is thinking,
Yeah.
we're in a much better position to ensure that it's, aligned with our values.
There's like giving AI like a moral compass that we can actually see
Exactly.
and understand.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so more transparency, that's a big one. What else is kind of on the horizon here?
Well, if this research has taught us anything,
Yeah.
it's that we may have underestimated the potential of these large language models.
Okay.
We've been so focused on like these specific tasks, like, translation,
Yeah.
writing code,
Right.
that we may have missed the bigger picture.
So you're saying that there's more to these models than like meets the eye.
Yeah, I think so.
Like they're capable of things that we haven't even like imagined yet.
Exactly. It's like we've given them a voice,
Okay.
and now they're starting to like express themselves in ways that we're just beginning to comprehend.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
But it's also a little bit daunting, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're venturing into uncharted territory here.
That's what makes it so compelling, though, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just about like building better AI.
Right.
It's about expanding our understanding of like intelligence itself.
So it's not just a like technological journey, it's philosophical too.
Precisely.
Okay. Oh,
And one that requires us to ask, some really, really profound questions. Like, what does it even mean to think?
mm-hmm.
Can a machine truly reason?
Right.
What are the implications of like, creating an AI that might one day like rival our own intelligence?
Those are some big questions.
Yeah, they are.
And we're probably not going to answer them today.
No, not today.
But hey, that's the beauty of these deep dives, right?
Sure.
They leave you with like way more to think about than when you started.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I for one am like super excited to see where this, this whole journey takes us.
As am I.
If you're as intrigued by this research as we are, be sure to check out the show notes. We'll have a link to the original paper there.
It's a fascinating read.
It's a really fascinating read, and I guarantee it'll spark some like really interesting conversations.
Yeah, and if you have any thoughts or questions, share them with us on social media.
Yeah, definitely.
We'd love to hear what you think of this groundbreaking research.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep dialing deep.
Yeah, absolutely.